Okay, Martin, the Everton Goodison Park hoodoo for Fulham continues. Were you incredibly disappointed about the performance, the result, or a combination of both on Saturday afternoon?
If we would have scored, of course, in hindsight, you could say that we would be happy with a point. But now, 1-0, although the last time we played it was 4-0, I guess. Every game is different, so we went there, we were quite confident. Of course, they've got one or two very good players, but on the other hand, you can't say that they are a much better team than us. The only thing is they played with a purpose. They had a lot of movement up front. But you can't come up with 2 or 3 chances in the first half. So I think we did well, but again, we couldn't get behind and we couldn't create a lot of chances to score goals, and that was disappointing. Second half was a bit better, and we had 2 or 3 opportunities, but it was not good enough. And that is something I can't change now, because of course we've got good players, but I want to be more productive, and I want to score at least 60 goals to be in the top 7. And this year again, maybe we scored 1 or 2 or 3 goals more than last year, but it was still not enough to play a big role and big part in the league to get and win something. And
what do you think the difference has been? Because almost at the beginning of the season, there were a lot of goals coming, and then at the turn of the year, a lot of goals, and they seem to have dried up recently. What can you put your finger on that?
I can put my finger on that because I feel that if you play the football we play, it's almost like the Arsenal style, to get the ball into the goal after 60 or 70 passes. And of course it looks nice, but I talked about the blonde goal looking good from far and far from good. And that is with some of our football as well. I want to play good football, but of course it's about the goals. And sometimes I feel with Bayern always, with Dimitar, even with Mladen Petric, it's good on the eye and from the flank players as well. You need to be more productive. Last year we had, for example, Clint Dempsey, and he never played on the left. I played him on the left, but he was never on the left, so it was a bit annoying sometimes, but he was always at the end of crosses. He was in the box, he tried to score goals. Now we try to play good football, but of course we were still in the top 10, so I can't say that we didn't score any goals, because there will be a lot of teams, scoring lesser goals than us. But for me, to make that step and be in the top 8 or structurally a top 10 side, it's not enough. And that is disappointing, because we've got the quality, but we haven't got the pace, for example, sometimes. We haven't got the players who get behind Everton, because I saw loads of 1v1s down the flank, and then we are not cool enough. We are not taking our time, because you need to play with quality, and we've got the quality. So hopefully in the next year we will show what we can do and score more goals, because that is necessary to win games away from home.
Dimitar and Kieran Richardson both came off injured on Saturday. What's their status? Will they be available and fit for tomorrow's game?
Dimitar sometimes looks a bit uninterested, but believe me, he wants to play, so that is an easy one. He had almost a tear in his calf, but he assured me he wants to play, because he loves to play at Craven Cottage, for example. So he's a terrific professional, and he shows that again, because he was injured. Of course, the medical staff took their time today, for last day, game day tomorrow. He was fit again, so that was good. Kieran Richardson is the same, he's a good lad. This season, I think we expected a bit more of him, because sometimes he was injured. I wanted to play him again. They was injured again. John Arne Riise was always there, because he's a fit lad. Kieran wasn't, so that is the only thing we have to change for the future. You have to be reliable physically as well. And I think Kieran is a very good boy. He knows that. Today he trained again, so he's fit for selection tomorrow. So it's we have to make a decision on that, if he starts or not.
Reading obviously relegated alongside QPR last week, so they will come here, but they still have a new manager, Nigel Atkins, who they want to impress because of next season, presumably. What are you expecting from them then?
If you see the front four, because they tend to play with 2 flank players, the Pok, and then someone in the hole, they've got a lot of energy. Of course, if there would be unbelievable quality, they would have stayed in the Premier League, in the Barclays Premier League, and they didn't. But I feel that for them it's important to impress their manager. On the other hand, they can be relaxed, because they are relegated anyway, and that is quite dangerous, So we have to play our football, because I can't say that against Chelsea was probably our best match. but we couldn't score and we didn't create enough for my liking. And Arsenal was the same, although we played with 10 men. Again, a set piece, was the goal we conceded from. So that is not what you want, but we have to take initiative. We want to dominate them. We have to create chances like we did, for example, against QPR, first half. That was good. 3 goals, that is what you want.
You talked to me about pleasing the crowd. That's very important to you, to play well in the last 2 home games especially, to please the crowd and give them something.
I think that is the most important thing, because we almost every week, every other week we've got a sellout. There's 26,000 there, 25 and a bit. And we want to please them. We play for our fans, and we had a very good first spell. Then we had an indifferent second spell because of the transfers and the players who went to other clubs. The third spell was very good, and now I wanted to finish on a good note in the last 10 matches. And of course we knew Everton, Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle. It's not easy, but if you want to perform, if you want to be a good club, you need results, and we didn't do that. Simple. So last 3 games now against Reading, Liverpool, Swansea, I would love to have 9 points. And then you could easily say that we had another good season. And if not, and we are too good to stay in 40 points anyway. But if we would have stayed, if we win tomorrow, for example, I think we will stay in the top 10. And that looks good, and next year we wanted to make another step. And you will see in the last 3 matches if we can think about making another step, because that is very important for this club.
And finally, you're wearing your Shooting Star Chase t-shirt. Tomorrow is our nominated charity day, and I know that you and the players have all donated a day's wages towards the charity. How important is it?
I feel if you are in the situation we are, like football players or managers, I think the only thing you can do is try to come up for people like that, And if you see these kids, in the Shooting Star scheme, this charity is unbelievable charity, and our chairman, of course, came up and led by example. His daughter did. So as a club, we do other things as well, but we particularly like this charity. It's so important, and they need a lot of money, and that is why we try to do what we do. And it's almost nothing, even when you give 1% or 5%, it doesn't mean anything. But hopefully, for our supporters as well, we want to bring this charity under their attention, and then hopefully they can do something, because it's one of the most important charities, I think, in London and in England.
Dig deep is the message, and we wish you luck tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.